All right, hey guys. So it's Severe Weather YT here. I'm gonna be talking about the Halloween storm that's gonna be hitting, obviously Halloween, but also part of um the 1st of November is also gonna be impacted by this storm. So here's a briefing that was done by National Weather Service Binghamton. I'm mostly gonna be talking about the Northeast, mainly New York though. Um, so here's a. I'm just gonna show you guys the briefing that was done by National Weather Service in Binghamton. So wind advisory is now in effect for most of the area, although there are also high wind watches in effect, and there are aerial flood watches in effect. So yeah, the main impacts will be wind. There will be uh strong storms and showers that will have damaging winds, power outages, tree damage, and isolated structural damage. That will be mainly Thursday and Friday. Thursday night, of course, not during the day. That will be in northeast Pennsylvania and central New York. There also is a flash flooding risk for it's mainly isolated, but yeah, that's for urban and poor drainage areas. And that is for Thursday night, and I'm gonna say part of Friday morning maybe, even though it doesn't say it there. This is for northeast Pennsylvania and central New York. Also, there is lightning. Not much lightning, but a few strikes. And that will be Thursday evening across northeast Pennsylvania, much of central New York. But I don't really think it's gonna be too much of a risk. Now there is also a tornado risk for this storm in central New York and Pennsylvania. An isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. This is for Thursday evening. It says northeast Pennsylvania, but honestly, I think it could extend out into southern central New York. All right, so next, wind damage is, or damaging winds is elevated for northeast Pennsylvania and central New York. Same with flash flooding is limited since it's going to be mainly isolated. Lightning is also limited. There's going to be some, but not much. And tornadoes are limited, but there's definitely a chance of that happening. Tornado. Now here are the watches and advisory. There are more wind advisories out this way, and there's also aerial flood watches out over there. But it is not really updated since this briefing came out around 3:00 p.m. It says gusty winds could topple unsecured objects and cause isolated power outages. So obviously towards the Great Lakes, it's going to be higher winds and better chances of power outages. I'll get to that in a second with my own forecast. So here are the peak wind gusts according to the National Weather Service. If you zoom in, that red area is 47 to 50 mile an hour. In that orange area, sorry, I keep forgetting, it's 44 to 47 miles an hour. You guys can kind of see that with right there. So obviously, the closer to the lakes you get, the more wind. A line of showers and thunderstorms will develop. It looks like a squall line. Stronger gusts could be shown. There's going to be tree damage and a few power outages. So here we go. Here's the rainfall. So much of the area is in a 1.5 to 2 inches category, although there are some 1 to 1.5 inches. So there's definitely going to be some flooding. Turn around, don't drown. Of course, it says that right there. So drains are going to be clogged with leaves, obviously. And it's not a high risk of flash flooding, but definitely an isolated risk. But yeah, here we go. So here's the event summary according to the National Weather Service. A powerful front will blast through Thursday evening with showers and thunder possible and damaging wind gusts. There's going to be heavy rain and isolated flash flooding possible. So, yeah. So let's move on to my forecast. So here's what the NOM is showing. NOM model. Obviously, there's snow up to the north. That's in Canada. Not to worry about that yet, snow. But anyway, so look at that squall line. It kind of seems to break up there in northeast Pennsylvania, but it looks like there's definitely a squall line up in central New York, and this one's going to be the more powerful one. That's why there is an enhanced risk of severe storms down there. Now my area is in the marginal. I don't think I showed that back here. Shoot, yeah, I don't think I showed that, but there is a marginal risk for that area. Also, here's the snowfall amounts for New York. So there's gonna be a lake effect band that comes in after this this big storm comes through. It's gonna be right after it, so it's gonna look like November 1st, November 2nd. But yeah, 1 to 2 inches possible over there in western New York, and then over here is traced to an inch in the blue areas. I think this will extend down into Onondaga County. That is where I am. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think the winter weather advisories are gonna go out to too much of a low risk. Okay, here's the rainfall. So I made this a while ago. Didn't really have the opportunity to update it. So it does look like it changed a tiny bit, but I'd still think this is a high possibility of playing out like this. Plus, I still think it's pretty much going to look something like this. It looks like it might shift a tiny bit more east or a bit more west. Who knows? But yeah, in the green is 0.5 to 1 inch of rain. I think that might go up a bit. And then in the blue is 1 to 1.5 inches, and in the green is 1.5 to 3 inches with locally higher amounts of 4, even 5 inches possible. Oh, sorry. And then if you come over here, there are also power outages, likely. So over by the lakes, it's widespread power outages likely with those gusty winds. Over by the lakes, it's going to be around, or you guys will see in a second. And then in this lighter shade of pink, it's going to be scattered to widespread outages likely. And then down here in these colors, it's going to be isolated. So now let's look at the winds. So over by the lakes, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible, which is insane. Down here, gusts up to 60-mile-an-hour possible. And then over here, 50-mile-an-hour gusts. These could be locally higher. So anyways, let's go on to the next. Here is the snowfall according to the NOM. As you can see, that lake effect can add up to 2 to 3 inches possible. Over in the Adirondacks, you'll see some snow and a little bit in the Tug Hill. I think this will extend down, but yeah. Also, this is not really including this storm, but next week I have a possibility of getting some snow. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe this Halloween. I might have some updates if anything else changes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.